Salutations friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to bring you another video where I highlight some fragrances that I think would make fantastic gifts. The first video I did of this was designer fragrances, and I will link that video below. But today I'm going to talk about my favorite fragrances that I think would be phenomenal gifts. These are birthday gifts, anniversary gifts, just because gifts, Valentine's Day gifts, just Mother's Day gifts. They're pretty awesome fragrances that I think would be very suitable and perfect for gift giving. So if you'd like to watch this video and know which fragrances from niche houses that I think would make phenomenal gifts, then keep watching. Little disclaimer on this video, guys. Most of these fragrances I'm going to talk about are from my collection, but I am going to talk about some fragrances at the very end that are not in my collection that I still think would be great gifts. This video is also going to be very feminine fragrance centric. Just like my designer one was, I am going to be doing a male fragrance video that I think would be great gifts if you had somebody that likes male fragrances or a guy in your life that you want to give a fragrance gift to. I'm going to be doing that video at the end of this series. So these are all going to be mostly feminine, a little bit unisex fragrances. Now, each of these are going to be a very specific reason why I chose them. Fragrance is very polarizing. People are very specific about the fragrances they like. They are very particular. So most of the fragrances that I chose are very easy to wear fragrances. They're not hard to interpret. They're not going to be as inspired as other niche fragrances, even from the same houses. And because of that, I wanted to make sure that the fragrances that I recommended to you, most people would like. I'm going to give you an example of two designer fragrances. What I mean by polarizing and easy to wear and then other people liking and not liking. It's the very popular Poison line from Christian Dior. It's a beautiful fragrances, absolutely gorgeous fragrances, but they're very polarizing. People either love them or people either can't even be within like 10 feet of someone that wears them. It gives them migraines, it gives them headaches, makes them cough. It's just they hate it. And then other people absolutely adore it. Example, I love it. I cannot wear it whenever I'm near my husband. He just cannot stand it. But then another fragrance that is something that a lot of people find is very effortless and easy to wear would be J'adore. Or even Addict. Maybe Addict might be a little less polarizing. But those are a little bit easier to wear and easier to interpret. So that's kind of like what I'm talking about with these fragrances. I'm going to be sticking away from the ones that a lot of people tend to not like or is polarizing, like you either love it or hate it, not you like it or you appreciate it. These are going to be very easy to wear fragrances. Most of these are going to be daytime fragrances. There are a few that are considered to be nighttime fragrances or to be fragrances that you could wear for special occasions like special dates, special events, things like that. So I'm going to be getting into all that with you. This video will probably be long because the disclaimer is already almost 3 minutes long. So I'm going to stop this disclaimer and let's start talking about some fragrances. The first one I'm going to talk about is probably the one that I would recommend above all the others, just because I think it's a beautiful fragrance. It's a luxurious bottle and scent and house, and I think that this is the most unique fragrance out of the entire lot that I'm talking about, while still being easy to wear. And that would be the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Baccarat Rouge 540. Now you see this on my list all the time. It is one of my all-time favorite fragrances. I love it. This is a very sparkling, warm, sweet scent. It fills the room beautifully. It has excellent sillage, but at the same time, it's not going to be so heavy that it's going to be oppressive and thick. This is going to leave a lasting impression wherever you wear this, and I think that that's really beautiful. This is kind of a warm, sparkling candy-like scent. I would say this is the more grown-up, luxurious version of Prada candy, but the marigold in this, I think, kind of makes it a little bit more luscious and less candy juvenile. Now, I love Prada candy. It's one of my grab-and-go fragrances if I want to smell really feminine and very sweet, but if I want to smell elegant and sweet and feminine, this is a perfect choice, and that's why I think this would be a perfect gift. Next up are two from the house of Micallef. The first one's going to be a very easy fragrance to wear. It is Mon Parfume. Now this one, I love all the Mon Parfume. I love Mon Parfume Gold, and Mon Parfume Crystal. But what I love about Mon Parfume, it is a very easy, effortless, basic fragrance. And what I mean by basic is when I think of basic fragrances, I think of something that everybody has pretty much the same profile of. It's a feminine fragrance, it's heavy on the florals, it's a little bit heavy on the fruit, a little bit of a musk in there, but it's generally a crowd pleaser. Most people like it. What I love most about this one is that this does basic right. It is beautiful, very luxurious, it lasts on the skin, it lingers for a very long time while still being very feminine and pretty. It doesn't lose its integrity the longer that you wear it. When I purchased this fragrance, it actually I got rid of, and I rarely get rid of fragrances, about 7 or 8 bottles of fragrances that were similar to this or reminiscent to this, but this just did it better. And that's why I think this is a great gift, because if somebody likes Signorina from Salvador Ferragamo, or they like YSL Mon Parfume, or they like the Marc Jacobs fragrances, specifically Lola and Oh Lola, they like kind of like the jammy, sweet, floral, fruity fragrances, and this is a great gift because this is going to be the best of those, which is why when I got this, I was like, I'm only going to wear this, I'm not going to wear the other ones, what's the point? So I got rid of the other ones. Which is why I really love this. Plus the bottle and presentation of Micallef is just on point and perfect, which is why I think this makes a fantastic one. And you do not have to get the version that I got, as I got Ylang. Now I got Ylang in gold just because I thought this was really fun and cute, but this is another fantastic gift. This is a beautiful interpretation of a white floral without it being too heavy or lost in translation. A lot of times when you get into white florals or any type of florals, you lose the integrity of the florals and it just smells like a mess. This, you get the ylang, but there's like this subtle sweetness and softness to this, almost these milky notes in the background that aren't sour but are very bright, which makes this really, really beautiful. Plus the bottle is stunning, the presentation is gorgeous, and you can get the gold version like this. You can get the regular you can get the regular juice, which does not have a gold shimmer in it. This just kind of leave a nice effect on the skin. I actually really enjoy this. But you can get ylang in gold or just ylang, but this is a beautiful feminine fragrance that's going to smell delicious and gorgeous and very unique and distinctive while not being hard to interpret. Next up is a fragrance I think if the person you're getting a gift for loves rose fragrances and they have a variety of rose fragrances and you don't want to get them anything you think they already have, I think this is perfect. And it is Rose 31 from Labo. Now the nice thing about this is that the rose in this is not sweet, it's not fresh, it's not jammy, it's not boozy, it's not heavy. In fact, the rose in this kind of takes a second seat to the peppery and spicy notes in this, which is really, really nice. This is a very kind of sophisticated, almost hip rose fragrance. It's very popular. It's one of Labo's more popular fragrances. And the reason why I think is because this is so easy to interpret. It's a spicy rose. It's feminine, but it's still kind of androgynous, which is really, really nice. And so if the person you're getting this for already has a lot of rose fragrances, they probably don't have anything like this, and I would definitely recommend this as a perfect gift for any rose fragrance lover. Keeps this chair. Okay, next up, I'm going to be showing you one bottle, but I'm going to be talking about the entire different bottles that I would recommend. And the one I'm talking about is Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California. Now also what I would recommend, the same as Atelier Cologne, Clementine, California, would be Orange Sanguine or Bergamot Soleil. I kind of talk about those fragrances when I reviewed this fragrance. I will link it below. Basically, this is for somebody who kind of just likes really effortless fragrances and is looking for a day-to-day fragrance, something they can spritz and go. I think that this would be a fantastic casual fragrance to give as a gift. Maybe you know the person who likes it really likes citrus for scents and you want to get them something fun and nice. I think that this is where Atelier Cologne really shines. I wouldn't say this is so much of a romantic gift, but it could be a very romantic gift if the person loves these types of fragrance. But this is to me more of like a birthday gift or maybe like a just because gift. Maybe not so much of an anniversary or a Valentine's gift. Not so romantic as it more as a practical fragrance, which I think is really awesome and is missing. Most times when people give perfumes as fragrance, they give these like really amazing gestures of like romance and love, and sometimes it's just nice to get something easy that you're going to use every day. this is kind of like the socks of Christmas gifts. And when you're little, you're like, I want the romantic, crazy scents that smell beautiful and are in these gorgeous bottles. And then as you get older, you're like, oh man, this is perfect. I can use this. This is great. That's what this fragrance is. And I don't mean to say that this is the socks fragrance, but I spend a lot of money on socks. I love socks. I love this fragrance. This is an everyday utilitarian fragrance that is beautiful and gorgeous and luscious and delicious and bright and fun. And I also love that these are unisex, so if you don't like so much of feminine fragrances, anyone can wear these and smell amazing, which is why I think these are great gifts. And again, Bergamot Soleil and Orange Sanguine fall into this Clementine, California. Now let's talk about the opposite of that. Let's talk about a very romantic, luxurious gift that somebody might put a lot of thought into. If somebody collects fragrances, if somebody likes luxurious, nice designer fragrances, and you want to get them something unique, but something that they will still like, that's romantic and substantial, I think Creed Fleurissimo is perfect. The really nice thing about Fleurissimo is that this is a very romantic, whimsical fragrance, but it is very heavy and substantial. Now, what I love most about Fleurissimo is that this is a bouquet of flowers, and you can really distinguish most of the flowers. They don't get lost in translation. On top of that, it is a classic, and anytime they wear this, they are going to remember the moment that you gave them to this. This is a very distinctive, memorable fragrance. I notice when people wear this fragrance, and you know, if you are around fragrances and you're around perfume, you might be able to distinguish your favorites, and if you're somebody who collects fragrances, you might be able to distinguish a little bit more. But there's just something spectacular and wonderful when I notice somebody wearing Fleurissimo. It's just a beautiful, feminine, mature, gorgeous fragrance that's pretty fitting for just about any occasion. You can wear this during the day, you can wear this evening. It's elegant, it's sophisticated, it's ultra feminine, and it's really beautiful. So I would definitely recommend this if you're looking for a romantic, luxurious gift to give somebody. Another one I'm going to talk about, and I'm briefly going to talk about this for some people don't consider Creed or this next brand I'm going to be talking about as niche. They kind of started off niche, but they've kind of made their own way in the fragrance world and community. But I'm going to consider them niche because they're not a designer brand. Just like with this house, although they could be considered separate from niche brands. This is Acqua de Parma, Rosa, Nobile. Or Nobile. Now this is to me, like the niche, little bit luxurious version of the Roses de Chloe that I talked about in my designer picks. This is just an easy, effortless fragrance. I don't know why I'm unscrewing it. It's a little bit jammy. It kind of has like a honey note to it, and that sweet kind of booziness in the rose of this is really nice, but it's not overpowering. This is still a very light and bright and easy fragrance to wear. Now, the reason why I think this is perfect is because this is a very luxurious juice. It lingers on the skin beautifully, and it's really nice. Now, the bottle I have is the limited edition bottle with the roses. I don't know if you can still get this. You probably can. But overall, the presentation of Acqua de Parma fragrances is phenomenal, and the juice is spectacular, and this is a beautiful gift for somebody who likes feminine, floral, and rose fragrances. I would say this is a very romantic gift. This would be a great Valentine's Day gift or an anniversary gift. I'm almost done, I promise. Okay, this next one is newer to my collection. I got it a few months ago, and this is going to go along the same lines as, to me, if you're looking to give a gift to someone who is a professional, who works in a professional environment. And when I say professional, I'm talking mostly about if they work in a bank, or if they work in a cubicle, or in an office setting, because a lot of times some fragrances are appropriate for those settings and some aren't. And if somebody loves to go to work and they take a lot of pride in their career and themselves and they love fragrances, you might want to find them a beautiful gift that will fit all of their identities. And I think there's nothing wrong with having an identity in your career. A lot of people are very career driven, and I think that is perfect. I think that's amazing. And if you take a lot of pride in that, and that's your identity, is your career, I think that to really celebrate that with gifts of fragrances and anything that you can take with you from your personal life to your career life is awesome, which is why I love career-focused fragrances. Fragrances that work beautifully in the work environment and in the work establishment and cubicles and close quarters, that you can wear and feel empowered and feel unique, but are still appropriate for that setting. And that's why I really wanted to include this one. Gifts like that I think are great as date gifts, anniversary gifts, and also birthday gifts. Maybe not so much Valentine's gifts or really special occasion gifts. But this one I would recommend is Like This from Etat Libre de Orange. This is the collaboration they did with Tilda Swinton. Swinton. She is a wonderful, amazing woman, and if you think about how she might smell, this is what I think of. This is just a bright, very distinctive, a little bit gingery fragrance. It's sweet and not zingy, but there is a little bit of a zest and a brightness to this. What I like most about this fragrance is that it doesn't sit so close to the skin so you're the only one experiencing it, but it doesn't have such terrible sillage. And when I say terrible, I mean like oppressively large sillage, which a lot of people really love, and I know that I really look for in fragrances, but in work environments that's not always appropriate. So what's nice about this is this kind of lingers a little bit off of your skin. If someone comes up to you, shakes your hand, you're giving somebody some paperwork, or you're going in for a meeting, the people in that environment are going to be able to experience your fragrance, but it's not going to be so heavy, but it is going to be beautiful and appropriate. I also think this is a tremendous daytime fragrance, and this would be a wonderful signature fragrance for somebody that is effortless, elegant, classy, professional, and it's really easy to wear. I know I'm just throwing words together, but in my head they make sense. So I think like this would be a perfect fragrance for somebody who is a professional or is very sophisticated and elegant and just is got their life in order and is looking for a wonderful everyday fragrance. And if you wanted to gift them with this, I think that they would really enjoy it. Two more of the bottles. This next one, I wanted to choose one from this entire house, and I actually thought about including more, but I wanted to, again, pick something that was easy to wear. A lot of these ones from this line, some people love them, some people like them. It's not a polarizing line, but some of the fragrances are a little bit hard to interpret if you are not someone who is into this line or these fragrances. And when I talk about it a little bit more, you might understand more, and I will give you some examples. But I wanted to talk about Amouage. Now, I think Amouage is probably one of the most luxurious niche brands that I can think of that is easily affordable for most people. There are definitely more luxurious niche brands out there, but their prices on their fragrances are $6,000, $7,000, $8,000, $9,000. These fragrances to me are pretty much affordable if you're looking for a nice luxurious gift to give somebody. I wouldn't say they're affordable fragrances, they're definitely higher end, but they have such an elegant juice and elegant packaging, and a lot of people know Amouage, and when they think of niche brands, this is one of the brands that comes to mind. Now, I chose Ciel Woman because I think that this would be the easiest to wear and interpret for most of the fragrances from Amouage. Lyric Woman is beautiful, but it's a little bit powdery, and some people don't like powdery fragrances. The same can be said, a lot of people really love Fate, but I think that might not be appropriate for everybody, and some people might not like it. The same can be said for Lilac Love. I absolutely love that, but if you don't like cocoa in your fragrances, stay away. This one is just a really easy, beautiful fragrance to wear that would be appropriate for daytime or evening. Even if it's like an elegant evening out, like a special occasion or a date, you could wear this. Now, I also thought of including Memoir Woman, but again, that's one if you don't like matronly, grandma-like fragrances, and I love and gravitate towards those. And when I say that, I mean like they're the fragrances that elegant older women wear, and you smell them and you're like, I want to be you. That's what I mean when I mean matronly and grandma-like fragrances. I know that those terms seem negative, but to me they're ultra positive, like ultra positive. But what I love about Ciel is this is bright and this is youthful while still being very substantial. I think that this is easy to interpret, easy to wear, not polarizing, and is a great introductory into Amouage fragrances. So if you know if somebody wants to start a fragrance collection and they don't know much about niche and they'd be interested in niche, this is a wonderful gift to give them. It's luxurious and romantic, so this would be a great Valentine's Day gift, anniversary gift, birthday gift, whatever gift. This is pretty easy to gift because it is just pretty easy to wear and it fits just about every occasion. Last but not least, I wanted to talk about the tea trend when it comes to fragrances. This has been around for a very long time. It's one of my favorite trends. I absolutely love tea fragrances. I've been wearing them pretty much my entire life. I've been wearing them since I've been 12, so it's been at least 20 years. I love tea fragrances, but when I wanted to talk about a tea fragrance that I think would be a great gift, I wanted to talk about a tea fragrance that probably the person you're gifting this to doesn't have in their collection. If somebody likes tea fragrances, they probably have Bulgari Eau de Vert, or they have the Elizabeth Arden green tea fragrances, or if they're into niche or luxurious brands, they probably have the ones from Kilian, Bamboo Harmony and Imperial Tea. And even though Bamboo Harmony, Imperial Tea, they might not have, and I was considering having in this list, my thought is that those are very similar green-esque, even if they're not green tea fragrances, they have the green tea soul, which is this very bright, sweet tea fragrance. And I wanted to include something that's very popular and easy to wear, but is not a green tea or a green tea reminiscent fragrance, and that was Tea for Two from L'Artisan Parfumeur. Now what I love about this is a bright scent, this is a zesty scent, this is a youthful scent, and this is a unisex scent, so the person doesn't like to wear anything that's feminine. If you want to give this gift to a man or a woman, you can give this to anybody. The tea in this is a Lapsang Souchong, and I'm going to give you a little bit of a history of Lapsang Souchong. It was one of my favorite teas to sell when I worked at the tea store. It is a smoky smoked black tea from Russia. Now the story behind it is, and I'm just going to give you a quick synopsis. If you want to know more history on Lapsang Souchong, I'd be more than happy to do that. Basically, when Russia would get their tea and the merchants would bring it from Asia to Russia, it would take months for them to get there, and so the campfires would smoke their tea, the tea chests that were closest to the campfires. And so Russia and the places that would get this tea grew very accustomed to smoky teas. Now, of course, not all teas were smoky, but the ones that were considered to be very popular, and they were, it's Lapsang, basically what Lapsang Souchong is. Now, when I would sell this tea, our tea was in giant tea tins and was enclosed, and when people would ask about it, I would tell them the story, and I would also warn them, when I take this tin off of this tea, it is going to fill this entire tea store and it's going to smell like there's a fire. And they didn't believe me, and then they were like, crap, holy crap. It is a delicious tea. I love the tea. It's one of my favorite teas, which is why I was so excited to see that that was in this tea fragrance. Now, done talking about much longer than that needs to be. The reason why this is so good is if somebody likes to wear light and bright and kind of like alive tea fragrances, that's to me when I smell green tea fragrance, it feels alive. You feel energized. It's a very energizing fragrance to wear. You get that kind of feeling when you wear this, but it's not green tea. It's like a little bit of a smoke to it, and the black tea notes in here is gorgeous. So I think this is a perfect gift for anybody who is obsessed with tea fragrances, and this is a definitely appropriate gift. I think this would be a better gift for maybe like a date gift, maybe not a romantic gift, but definitely like a birthday gift or a just because gift. Or if you know somebody who's a mother who loves tea fragrances, this would be a great Mother's Day gift. But I do love this fragrances. It's one of the most talked about favorites from this house, which is L'Artisan Parfumeur. It's been around forever. Everyone loves it. And that's why I would recommend it, because A, everyone likes it. It's very popular. It's not very polarizing. It's very beautiful, and it's unique, which is awesome. Well, those are my bottles that I recommend, but like I said, I kind of wanted to mention a few. Now, I might forget some, so if you want to go to the description below, I will list all of my recommendations and honorable mentions. I'll think a little bit more about it as I'm writing my description and getting my video up, because I write everything down. So I mean, I'll probably remember a few, because I tend to be more spur of the moment when I record. So the ones I would definitely recommend as gifts, these are going to be kind of more not so much romantic like Valentine's Day anniversary gifts. I think these gifts are great for Mother's Day or birthdays or just because gifts. I think Chinatown from Bond No. 9 is fantastic. I think that Le Labo Noir is great. I also think that a few others from L'Artisan Parfumeur, Drôle de Rose is great. Tubereuse Nuit, I think that's how you pronounce it. Again, I will write everything below. It's a beautiful, very floral scent that is gorgeous. So I would definitely recommend those. Also Create Gardenia and Create Spring Flower. So again, if I have more than I remember, I will write them below. But those are all gifts. And if you're looking for romantic gifts, more substantial gifts that you want to give as a date, stay tuned for my luxury fragrance recommendations, because that's going to be these super nice I mean, these are all super nice, but these super high-end, expensive luxury fragrances. We're talking $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000 recommendations. Now, all of the perfumes that I'm going to recommend in that list, that's the next one coming up, I have tried and sampled. Some of them I have a bottle of, some of them I used to have a bottle of, some of them I'm planning on buying very soon. So I can definitely recommend this based on my experiences. So I'm not going to recommend anything that I haven't tried, because if I'm going to be recommending you guys to spend $4,000, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 on a fragrance, I want to be able to at least say that it lasts this long. It's got beautiful sillage, it's luxurious juice, it's a great perfume and a great fragrance. So that's the next video coming up. It's either going to be up this weekend or Monday or Tuesday. So do look forward to that. But I'm going to have more of a list of these guys below. So if you're interested and want to know what other niche fragrances I recommend, definitely read the description box. As always, if you have any recommendations or if you have any critique on the fragrances that I chose and you think maybe some of them aren't appropriate, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comment section below your recommendations, and if you think maybe some of these aren't appropriate and they shouldn't have been a part of this list. I want people coming to this video to have as much resources as possible, and I'm not the only resource, so are you guys. So please let me know below in the comment section. As always, if you like my fragrance videos and you want me to continue doing fragrance videos, give this video a thumbs up. It lets me know to continue doing fragrance videos. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because I put out videos every Monday through Friday and sometimes on the weekends as well. So I always have something for you to watch. In any case, I hope you guys are all happy and healthy. Have a great day, month, year, whatever. And I'll see you next time. Bye!